In our next session, Mr. Srinivas B. Vijayaraghavan, VP Marketing Gupshup, will talk on conversational marketing, get one-on-one with everyone. Let's hear from him about conversational marketing and its benefits, how it will help your business grow, and what you need to build a successful conversational marketing strategy. Over to you, Mr. Vijayaraghavan.
Hello and welcome to the Martech Asia 2021 Summit. My name is Srinivas Vijayaraghavan and I'm the VP of Marketing at Gupshup. We're proud to be a conversational messaging partner at the event. And in this session, I'll be talking to you about conversational marketing and how you can leverage conversational marketing to have personalized engagements with your customers at scale. So if you've been a marketer in the recent past, or if you've been a marketer for a long time, you will know that segmentation, creating a segment of one, which was like the holy grail a long time ago, is no longer a pipe dream. And that is because we as marketers are able to collect a lot of data about our customers, about our prospects. We're able to track their behavior and learn a lot more about them than we could ever do, say 20 or 25 years ago. A lot of that is possible because customers are spending a bulk of their time online. So if you look at, let's say, the data from just one quarter for Indian consumers from last year, the amount of time that is spent using the internet, using social media, or consuming content of different formats digitally has increased by an order of magnitude. And I think the pandemic has also accelerated this movement towards more and more online channels. But one thing that we see because of this is that whatever type of brand that you are in, whether you're in a B2B brand or a B2C brand, there is a need for marketers to drive personalized engagements online in real time. Your customers and prospects are online. You're able to connect with them, engage with them, but you need to really have that one-to-one conversation with them. And that is today only being done using websites and apps. So if you look at this complex sounding infographic, but if you spend a few seconds on it, you'll realize that a lot of us as marketers spend our time on optimizing the experience of our prospects and customers on two main digital channels, which is the website, in terms of how our website and web pages are being discovered, or when somebody comes to our website, how what kind of user journey that we can take them on. And the same thing with our apps. We want more and more people to download our apps, and we want to take them on a journey through our apps. But websites are a challenge because websites were designed for the big screen, and today a bulk of our customers are using the small screen. And on small screens, no matter how much you try, and of course technology has improved quite a bit, but on small screens, the web experience is really not that optimal. Secondly, if you just look at an app-only approach, there are lots of brands out there who are building apps and they want to put all their products and solutions on the app versus a website. If you just think about it, we have reached a point in time where there is a kind of a download barrier to downloading an app. While our phones have gotten more powerful and they have more memory, they have more processing capacity, there is a limit to the number of apps that you really would want to download on your device. And literally, there are millions of brands and businesses out there, but you can't have millions of apps on your phone. And they work for a few businesses, but they don't work for a majority of the businesses. And for anyone out there who's done app marketing, it is expensive to build and market apps, and it takes a long time to do it. So what are we talking about here? I would say that the biggest app out there that all your customers, whether you're a B2B brand, like I said earlier, or a B2C brand, there is one place where all your customers are, and that is the messaging app. And in a mobile first ecosystem like India and in other mobile first countries around the world, the messaging app is the one that we spend most of our time on. And why do we like messaging apps? Because first of all, it's a very personal space. It's a personal digital space that exists on your phone. So, you use it to talk to your coworkers. You've got groups with your cousins, your friends, your family. and it's a really intimate space that you've created for yourself. And it is also really convenient because it doesn't you can pretty much live within it, and you don't have to download another app. So imagine if a brand, your brand as a marketer, had a presence on this messaging app that your customer already has, and along with their friends and families and mamas and chachas, your brand is also there having a conversation with them whenever they want to speak with you, at whatever time that they want to engage, and for whatever kind of query that they want to ask you. Now, that is possible if we think about building conversational experiences on messaging apps. And that's where conversational marketing really kicks in. So the way to look at it is if you look from left to right on the spectrum, you look at a bunch of campaigns and activities that you drive as marketers. And today, marketing is not just limited to generating leads or prospects, but making the brand relevant to the complete life cycle of a customer, be it a consumer or a B2B customer. And conversational experience over messaging apps can deliver that personalized customer engagement all across that life cycle. And if you look at the three main elements of that cycle, so you have a pre-purchase cycle, a purchase cycle, and a post-purchase cycle. As CMOs, you can transform really every touch point by building conversational experiences on messaging apps. And in a way, just like we would think about a website as a storefront for a brand, or an address for a brand, or an app as an address for a brand, think about your brand on a messaging app as being the new storefront, and how that comes alive is in the form of a chatbot. So it doesn't matter whether a bulk of your customers are on WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger or Telegram or Instagram. You can live on those apps in the form of a chatbot that can have rich conversations with them, the same way they would converse with friends and family. And what you can do with that is you can really orchestrate a user journey across the life cycle, marketing, commerce, and support life cycle. So for example, you can do lead generation. Now I've given an example of SMS here because traditionally, when you think about messaging, SMS is what most brands use even today. But you can convert a one-way SMS into a two-way conversation with the addition of intelligent links. Or today, the WhatsApp for business accounts are really growing all over India. So if your brand already has a WhatsApp for business account, then you can very easily initiate a lead gen or a upsell or cross-sell campaign with your consumers in a conversational manner. If you look at the middle of your screen, you can also transact on messaging apps. A lot of these messaging apps are providing payment capabilities where you can do a one-click bill pay, and that's very easily integrated with UPI and other payment gateways. And once a customer is on board, I'm sure that they'll have queries, and this is where handling user queries using chatbots on WhatsApp in particular is becoming extremely popular, where at least 90 to 95% of the queries are handled by the bot. And maybe for more complex queries, maybe 5 or 10% of those are handed over to live agents. So you don't have to suffer from IVR fatigue. You don't have to, hold the line for hours not hours, but at least many minutes trying to figure out someone to come on the other line to deal with your problem. So with this kind of an approach, you have an automated solution, and then you have a seamless handover to a live agent. So here's an example of conversational marketing with one of the leading banks in the world. So like I was mentioning in the earlier example, Citi, like many other banks, used to send a lot of SMSs to consumers. So these are mainly sort of transactional SMSs where you've bought something or you've swiped a card, and these are alerts that they were sending to their customers. Now, if you think about it, a lot of these messages, it's not even, how many times do you even open that message to read it in terms of understanding, okay, what your exact balance is? Maybe fewer times than others. So the solution that Gupshup provided to the bank was to embed an intelligent link within a transactional message, upon clicking which it opened up a chatbot conversation on WhatsApp. So basically, we helped the bank convert a one-way message into a two-way conversation. And once that conversation started, the bank was able to upsell and cross-sell a lot of financial products to their consumers. Like, for example, if you made a fairly sizable purchase on your debit card and you received a message saying, okay, you've transacted for this much and this is your volume, here's a good deal on a credit card for you to consider. Or here's or if you are somebody who's a high net worth individual, then in one of the transactional messages you can have a link which says, why don't you opt for a higher degree card or a higher bracket card as opposed to what you have. So these kinds of conversions of sort of one-way messages to two-way conversations have really helped the bank to upsell and increase their revenue per customer by a large amount. And finally, with conversational messaging driving conversational marketing, you as a CMO can personalize customer engagement at scale. So which means you can engage with customers one-on-one. So let's say you have millions of customers and all of them are on messaging apps. They will get the feeling that you're having a one-on-one personalized conversation with them, because the chatbot that you build can be seamlessly integrated with your CRM system, your revenue management system, and you can use the power of all your data to have a one-on-one conversation with them, which feels personal to them. You can also cater to a variety of customer journeys and not just limited to just like lead generation or capturing leads on a form and things like that. But you can actually craft user journeys across a marketing workflow or a commerce workflow or a support workflow, and sort of gently carry the customer across this workflow. And all they need to do is just keep chatting with you the way they would chat with a friend or family on a messaging app, which they're already very adept at doing. And finally, as marketers, we are all measured on how much do we increase the customer lifetime value by, and how efficiently we increase that by reducing the customer acquisition cost. So both these parameters can be optimized through conversational marketing, which is powered by conversational messaging. So I'd like to pause here and open up for some questions. You can type it on the console.
Thank you, Mr. Vijay Raghavan, for an interesting session on conversational marketing. Ladies and gentlemen, now we'll move to track 2, which is mobile tech.